Dunster Beach. Place of memories full. Many. Some good memories, I'm sure. And today, I'm wondering, how many questions do we ask each day? How many questions have you asked today? Doing this, I'm probably going to ask a few questions, but I don't think I've actually asked any so far, and it's nearly 2 o'clock. Did you know children between the age of 2 and 5 will ask 40,000 questions? 40,000. And preschoolers will ask on average between 100 and 200 questions every day. So from the age of 5, I'm wondering what the trend is. Well, the trend is, as an adult, we will ask on average 10 questions. Just 10. And of those, how many, I wonder, are for Siri or Alexa? How many of those questions are interrogative, with a view to find out more, rather than what's the time, what's the weather, blah, 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 who's the king, who followed King George VI of England? Something more than a quiz show kind of question. But 10? How do we go from like 100 to 200 a day when we know pretty much little about the world, about our lives, about our loved ones, about mum, dad, brother, sister, neighbours, pets? How do we end up at 10? Is it because we know everything, that we don't need to learn anymore? Is it because the device that you might be holding has got all the information you need? You can call up ChatGPT or something and ask it to give you a breakdown of the monarchy in the 1600s, Farmer George, all of that. So that we've taught ourselves, well, we don't need to learn. Have we become lazy in asking the questions because all the information is right at our thumb tips or fingertips? If we know everything, where's the curiosity? Where's the depth of knowledge going to come from in the future if we are now already at a place we know everything, or we've got everything to hand? Where will the great thinkers come from? I really don't know. Something I also learned about little children up until the age of 5 is their capacity for lying. So there's an experiment whereby you've got this child sitting on a table facing, I don't know, a teacher or somebody, and behind the child is a curtain. The teacher turns around and says, blah, 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 I've got to leave the room for a moment, but behind the curtain is your favourite toy. Whatever you do, please don't look behind the curtain while I'm gone. Will you do that for me? All the children, up until the age of 5, say yes. Now, pretty much all the kids, when the adult leaves, all look behind the curtain. And from the age of 3, about 40% of the children who are asked, did you look behind the curtain? Those at 3 years of age lie. They say no. When they get to 5, all of them lie. So maybe asking 200 questions a day allows us to learn how to lie more. Animals lie. Squirrel monkeys lie. birds lie. They all give out if they see some food resource, they will call out, "Oh, big tiger, oh, big horrible monster." And their friends, their family will then hear this cry and run away, leaving the squirrel monkey to jump down and eat all the food to himself. So lying is not just a human thing. But a 5-year-old learning to lie, asking 200 questions a day, that's a heck of a mind, isn't it? So where do I go when I need to know stuff? Well, when I'm walking out, I always ask the dogs, Harvey and Teddy. Teddy's more about, the arts, and Harvey's more about precision and maths. But I just let my mind wander and ask things, and if there's a problem, something I'm struggling with, I will invite people to join me, in my mind, of course. I might invite a family member. I might ask somebody from the past, and I would ask them, Albert, I've got this thing. What are your thoughts? And I will answer as I think Albert Einstein might answer. I don't know Albert Einstein at all, but I'll put myself in that place. And I'll invite others, maybe some teachers from the past. Other people I bring to the table with thoughts is, I bring a 10-year-old kid in. What is the answer? What do you think? What's your thoughts on the matter? And this 10-year-old will answer. And then there's another one. This lady called Brenda. She's ex-forces, ex-Navy. I met her, late 90s, so 30 years ago nearly. And we worked together then, and then we worked together at a big organisation. And I would say she's a wonderful friend. We've probably seen each other, well, I know we've only seen each other once in 20 years. But she's an incredible woman. And I always like to honestly, her brutal approach to things, and almost like a sleeves up stuff and nonsense. And I bring Brenda along, and I forgot this thing in my head. My question is, what would Brenda say? What would Brenda say? And she'd say it as it is. I love this woman, and I've got a t-shirt which I haven't put on today, and I've got it saying, what would Brenda say? So I shall be wearing that in the future, but I'm wondering, how many questions have you asked today? Have you told a falsehood, perhaps? More than asking a question? I would be curious also to know who you invite to your table of thoughts, but more importantly, are you Brenda to someone else? And what would you say? How about now?